Game reviews, League of Legends highlights, video game movie breakdowns, and an esports panel. You'll find all that and more on this week's brand new show. Hello, I'm Candace, and welcome back to another installment of the State Champs Esports Show. We're presented by Lawrence Tech, where they've been assembling their first ever varsity esports team. You can recruit yourself by filling out a brief questionnaire at l2athletics.com. Our show is sponsored by Hungry Howie's Pizza, the home of the original flavor crust pizza. Let's kick things off with a look at our second Spring League of Legends tournament, which is currently underway. Here are just a few of the match results. Detroit Catholic Central defeated Northville's JV squad. However, the tables were turned as Catholic Central faced and fell to Northville's varsity team. CC stayed on the plus side by securing a win over Birmingham United from Seaholm High School. The Birmingham team did find victory, however, against Linden High School. Troy High School managed to take down Catholic Central. Troy later went on to face and defeat the Linden Eagles. With the recent release of the new Mortal Kombat movie, our resident game reviewer Harez and our show's producer Denver got together to deep dive the history of movies inspired by video games. Here's just a taste of their chat.
I mean, with the big news of Mortal Kombat movie coming out.
Get over here.
Get over here. Oh my, did you watch it?
I loved it.
Okay.
I have to say, I hadn't seen either of the two Mortal Kombat live action movies before I saw this one.
Okay.
I mean, I take it back. I had seen enough of the original to kind of know that it's pretty cheesy in parts. After I saw the new one in the theater, I went back and watched the original, and there were some good things about the original, but you know, it's horrible dialogue, some really bad casting, like Bridget Wilson as Sonya Blade.
Oh yeah.
You know, she was the one really wink link. Not that she's a bad actress, you know, I don't want to
Right, but might not have been the best for that role.
Correct, yes, bad casting, and because I thought a lot of the rest of the original cast was pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. The thing is, I went back, and before even I watched the new movie, I kind of went back and watched some of the older ones.
Okay.
Same thing. Honestly, people ragged on it a lot, and granted, there were some bad parts, but it wasn't that bad. Because I mean, Mortal Kombat in general, if you play the game, it is hokey. It is kind of
it's a very simple, straightforward. You know, I guess my biggest complaint was, you know, besides some of the dialogue and the casting, was that the game is so graphic and gory and over the top.
It should match that.
Yeah, so that you could tell they really brought it down for, you know, kid level, family friendly viewing, which that should never have happened. It defeats the whole
point. That's the whole point of the movie, right?
Correct.
I mean, there's so many like horror movies and slasher films that show all this gore.
Yeah, it should have really been a slasher film.
Yeah.
Which is what was so great about the new movie.
Yes, definitely.
Was that they're like, okay, we are going all in, hard R rating, extreme gore and violence and blood.
It was pretty. Honestly, there was many moments where it just straight up felt like I was playing the game.
Oh, like, absolutely.
So gore, and even like the throwaway the lines, like I know it was kind of like cheesy to throw in like the direct like fatality or whatever.
Right. Well, but they did that in the original too.
Right, right. But it was cool. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of fun with it.
Now there is some controversy because as much as I like the movie, there are some Mortal Kombat diehard fans that didn't like the way that they kind of changed the storyline, if you will, especially with the whole gaining superpowers or super abilities. What was did that bother you at all?
Personally, not really, because I mean, look at like Harry Potter and other stuff. Like, there's been plenty of times where you can have two that kind of exist separately and it still makes sense. Because like, even in the Mortal Kombat game universe, there's multiple realities.
Oh, okay.
In which different things happened.
Got it. Different storylines.
Exactly.
And things,
So in my opinion, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they're trying to make another reality or version.
Yep.
Which doesn't bother me that much.
Well, it's kind of the way Marvel, the movies veer off from the comic books.
It's 100% like that, and that's why it doesn't bother me.
So it's the Mortal Kombat cinematic.
The cinematic. Honestly, it seems like they're building up for it.
MKCU.
Yeah,
right, I love
because
it.
I mean, I guess it's not really a spoiler, but like the main character is not a character in the roster.
Correct.
It'd be cool to see if they're gonna like implement that into the games and then back into the movie.
Yeah, and I guess the whole, because my Mortal Kombat video game fandom is only very surface and superficial. I haven't really played a lot of the recent games, but apparently the whole Scorpion versus
Sub-Zero
storyline is totally different from the movie.
I mean, it's still a revenge story, but it is different.
One of the high schools that is currently competing in our League of Legends tournament is Detroit Catholic Central. They've made big moves recently with their esports program, so we paid them a visit to meet some of their players and to check out their brand new facility.
Joel Graves here at Detroit Catholic Central with the head coach of esports, Stephen J. We're going to talk about their new esports setup they have here. How are you doing, Stephen?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. So first, you are a recent grad from here. So when you were here as a student, was this even a possibility? Was this something that you thought was going to happen?
Interestingly enough, our senior year, we hold the annual drive, which is our student fundraiser, and actually the theme was gaming. So I kind of knew that kids enjoyed playing games here, and we had a couple of Smash tournaments in front of the whole school, and they were pretty successful. So I don't think I ever would have dreamt of us having an esports program, but I guess it was kind of in the culture, so it worked out well.
Yep, so now that you have this facility here for students to come, after school, a dedicated space, what are you looking to do moving forward? And especially, towards the fall, hopefully once COVID slows down, you can have more in-person things.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been kind of competing against other schools in Michigan and around the surrounding states. But of course, what we want to do is attend more LAN events if the possibility exists. And also, we'd love to hold some events here at the school. I know we've got the capabilities to do it, so hopefully there'll be some pretty cool things moving forward.
Well, how were you able to get the setups that you have in here now?
It all kind of came from the school administration and also our athletic director, Mr. Babitz. That idea kind of came straight from them, which was they wanted to play esports against other schools, and they made it happen. Thankfully, they've been super supportive of us.
So what do you have for the future of this room?
We've got some pretty cool things planned. So the room's a little bit dry right now, but we'll be adding some decorations to spruce it up, and it'll be our home for the next few years.
So Detroit Catholic Central is known for all the sports that it offers here. How does that mesh with the community that you have here with esports?
Yeah, so the players themselves have been super competitive, and I think that has to do with our athletic history. I think we go into every match, trying to win, trying to do our best, even if we're underdogs. The reception from students, fans, families, everything's been really positive and supportive of us.
How has the reception been with the start of the esports program here? Has it started off with a little bit of interest and drastically grown, or what has it been?
Yeah, so I think it was a lot of interest right up front, and I think that kind of shocked me at first because there was a lot of people at our first couple meetings, and it's kind of been steady. The same kids that were interested joined teams, and I think this season in total for winter/spring, we've had 44 students competing.
So how has it been spread out game-wise? You have League of Legends, Overwatch, Valorant. Is there just, you have enough players for multiple teams, or is it a whole bunch of different games you have teams for?
Yeah, exactly. So we have multiple teams for each game. This year we did a no-cut model, so no one was cut from the teams. We just formed teams and added subs. I'd say the only game that we had trouble getting 5 players for was League of Legends, which I know we're in your guys' tournament for, but we managed to get 5, and we've been playing that one too. Number one reason why we started this program was to provide students with extra opportunities, including collegiate esports. There should be some pretty cool things happening, and hopefully we'll have some students that go to college to play esports.
Hey guys, this week we're looking at the hack and slash action RPG NeiR Replicant.
NeiR Replicant released on April 23rd to a pretty big audience. People have been waiting to play this remake of the original NeiR, especially since the franchise was revitalized by the release of NeiR Automata back in February of 2017. Having never played any of the games from the franchise, I was actually very happily surprised. You take the role of NeiR, or whatever name you put in the beginning, in a dilapidated modern city. There seems to be a nuclear winter of sorts, and you're fighting to protect your sister from mysterious creatures known as Shades. Time skips forward many, many years, where it's almost a medieval fantasy has kind of taken over the original skyscraper and cities. You play, somehow, as the same characters, but it seems like this time you have the chance to save your sister and the hunt begins. This story is phenomenal. Fantastic character development, not afraid to hold back punches. The twists that they throw in, I could not even have expected. It has amazing voice acting, even for side quest characters that don't even need it.
Leave it all to me!
And the banter between characters feels so alive and natural, not to mention the anguish when something horrible happens is so genuine.
Oh, that's awful. So much for miracles.
The graphics are pretty great. Definitely not new-gen graphics, but considering it's a remake and the original game came out in 2008, it looks really nice. Not to mention fantastic environments like deserts, wide-rolling hills, even long-since abandoned skyscrapers adds to the world and really lets you feel like you can explore these areas. The music is probably one of my favorite parts about this game. Absolutely beautiful. The composition is amazing and pushes the emotions of each scene or even the carefree feeling of exploring. The deep hanging melodies for darker scenes. Not to mention when you're in a city or an area that has different or smaller locations within it, the music will stay in key but change instruments and blend in seamlessly. And I can't help but appreciate it every time. In one tavern, as you walk in, hearing the singer's voice blend in as if you had just walked into that room yourself, it's fantastic. The combat, movement, and controls are all fast, snappy, and responsive. The developers knew this game is a bit longer and they respect your time for it. You move very fast, even faster once you start sprinting, both speeding up the game and pushing the idea of you being an insanely powerful warrior. Combat is sectioned off to a light attack string, heavy attack string, block, dodge, and 2 buttons for different types of magic, which as you gain, you can change out and try at your leisure. This creates insane combos as the magic you cast responds differently from when you're doing it within a combo, as opposed to dodging, etc. Not to mention, after the first act of the game, you unlock great swords and spears, one for damage, one for crowd control, and the ability to switch between them at a moment's notice. You get into some pretty fun Devil May Cry style combat once you get the hang of it. You also get things called words, which lets you enhance your weapons and magic, and really let you create some interesting builds like you can in most other RPGs. The longer I play NeiR, the more I come to appreciate these elements and how they've only gotten better as you play the game. If players haven't tried the original NeiR or Automata, this game will definitely be a springboard for the franchise to play the past games and any future ones as well. I know I can't wait to beat it and play Automata next. Get this game, absolutely get this game. It is well worth the $60, if not more so. You will get so much out of this game, whether it's story, whether it's exploration, or just fun combat. If you are a fan of RPGs, you're a fan of beautiful stories, great music, 100% get this game. You're gonna enjoy yourself.
That's it for this week, but make sure to join us next time for more highlights, reviews, and interviews. For everyone at State Champs Esports, thanks for watching, and remember to keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. And